Welcome everyone to the first of the breakout sessions for the air pollution strand. Let's see, am I doing this right? Whoops. Okay. Just hang on one second. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so my name is Michael Koehle. I'm the air pollution theme lead for the conference, and I'm here to introduce the air pollution strand today. In my day job, I'm an environmental physiologist, and we do exposure studies to air pollution and then observational studies as well, really with a focus on health impacts of air pollution, and especially with a bit of a focus on physical activity as well. So air pollution is one of the three strands in the conference today, and we already heard this morning how it's responsible for approximately 7 million premature deaths annually. And so environmentally, it's the largest risk factor in terms of health. And it's intimately connected to climate change for a number of reasons. Obviously, climate change, increasing temperatures worsens air pollution. And I come from the University of British Columbia in Canada, which is right around here. And we directly experience the two of the most severe air pollution impacts of climate change. And the first one is wildfires. And so this is what you'd see during a bad wildfire event. You can see that the visibility is particularly poor. That's because the air is full of particulate matter, and including that PM 2.5 that was mentioned earlier, which is really the most harmful one in terms of health. And so our wildfire seasons are longer, they're more severe, and the wildfires are harder to control. And so we see that. The other side of the climate change air pollution thing, that relationship that impacts us is ozone, ground level ozone. So not the stratospheric ozone that helps to protect the atmosphere, but ozone is a gas, it's a secondary pollutant that's created on hot sunny days when ultraviolet light converts primary pollutants like volatile organic compounds and oxides of nitrogen into ozone, which is a respiratory irritant and gives us acute pulmonary effects as part of it. And so with climate change, we're having more heat events. This is a recent event where in Canada, we were getting temperatures up to 48 degrees. So we heard this morning that in the United Kingdom, we may experience up to 45 degrees. Well, in Canada, we're supposed to be all cold and frozen, and this is Celsius. And so during this actual heat event, we had the highest ever recorded levels of ground level ozone right around here in a town called Maple Ridge, and that's 155 parts per billion. So we're seeing more of that as a result of climate change. And the other thing is that air pollution contributes to climate change as well. And one of the main ways is that one particular particle, kind of the soot particle, the black carbon that's produced, especially in wildfires, that's a very strong contributor to the increase in temperature because it deposits on the snow and ice and absorbs heat and interferes with the reflectance of heat by the light-colored parts of the earth. As well, ground-level ozone also absorbs heat as well, so it's really a bi-directional interaction between air pollution and climate change. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the three strands and how they're really intimately related for the conference. And so we heard about wildfires and ozone already and how some of the air pollutants increase the rate of change of temperature. And so that really fits well with the heat theme. Also part of the heat theme is people are going to be spending more time indoors to avoid the heat and also the air pollution. And they will tend to use things like ventilation and air conditioning, which requires energy, much of it coming from fossil fuels, which increases the air pollution. So you get this cycle. And then on the nutrition theme, we already saw on one of the figures this morning that agriculture is one of the largest contributors to air pollution. And so one of the big themes that we'll be talking in the nutrition theme is about food systems and sustainable food systems. But it's also a bi-directional intimate relationship. As the air pollution gets worse, that affects agriculture. So I was talking about wildfires and particulate matter, and I was talking about ozone. Both of those, as those levels increase, they impact agricultural production. So it's so interlinked. And then from a nutritional point of view as well, in a city like Delhi, we saw the lungs of a person in Delhi. There's also nutritional consequences of the air pollution. The vitamin D levels would be lower in people living in Delhi. And vitamin D is an important nutrient for particularly bone health, but also musculoskeletal health as well. Also, when we're working with patients and populations, we also talk about nutritional countermeasures that help reduce or mitigate the harmful effects of air pollution. And so things like antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, carotene, they all have a role in somewhat mitigating those effects. So you can see how there's a really close relationship between all three. And in my side job, I'm also a physician, and one of the things that really interests me in this space is the concept of a syndemic. So a syndemic is when you have one or more epidemics co-occurring at the same time where they interact. And so in terms of climate change, there's a potential for a syndemic because we already have an epidemic of physical inactivity leading to chronic health issues like cardiovascular, respiratory, cognitive, and metabolic health. And air pollution contributes to all of those diseases as well. And so if we combine that with increasing temperatures as a disincentive for activity, we have air pollution making people less active, we have heat making them less active, and then combined with poor access to good nutrition, you can see how all of these things snowball together, leading to this syndemic of non-communicable disease. And so for our first session, there will be a focus a little bit on wildfires. We'll talk about wildfires a lot because of its importance. And I just wanted to highlight the sort of the regional effect of wildfires. This is from the BBC just a month ago, talking about how wildfires in Canada are affecting the air quality in London. And at the time this came out, I was working in southern France, and there was particulate matter from Western Canadian wildfires affecting the air quality and the visibility in southern France. So we're all interlinked, which is one of the main challenges. And talking about this sort of interlinked challenges, another climate change related phenomenon called transboundary haze. And this is particularly evident in Southeast Asia, and our first speaker is an expert in this as well. But like wildfires, it's very heavy in particulate matter, and it comes as a result of burning due to agricultural burns, deforestation, but specifically peat moss. Burning of peatlands causes very high levels of particulate matter. But the difference between this and wildfires is there's many different jurisdictions in this area, and so wildfires that are, not wildfires, haze that's originated in Indonesia affects Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, all the way to Hong Kong. And it hangs in the air and it can persist. Wildfires typically are a days to weeks issue for us in Canada, but transboundary haze is more of a weeks to months issue with the same knock-on health effects. So for our session today, we're going to have a very multidisciplinary group, which is the focus of the conference. Our first presenter is Dr. Martin Worcester. He's a professor of Earth and Ocean Science at King's College London. He's trained as a physicist, but also an Earth observation scientist. That'll be followed up by Dr. Louisa Giles, who's an environmental physiologist from the University of Fraser Valley in British Columbia, right in the heart of wildfire country, and she's going to share her the local experience, but also some of the challenges and the resources and tools that have been employed to help mitigate the harmful health effects of wildfire-related air pollution. And then finally, online, we're having Dr. Zorana Anderson join us, and she's a renowned researcher in environmental epidemiology, but she's also very active in policy, especially at the European Union level and with the European Respiratory Society, and she's going to be sharing her experiences on policy change around air pollution today. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Dr. Martin Worcester to come join us.